What is natural church development? Mark 4:26 through 28, Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is as if someone would scatter seed on the ground and would sleep and rise night and day, and the seed would sprout and grow, and he did not know how. The earth produces of itself first the stalk, then the head, then the full grain in the head." God provides everything the church needs for growth. We help make the conditions right, and God provides the growth. Natural church development is based on a study of over 40,000 churches over a 10-year period who were in all kinds of different settings. Some churches were growing, some were standing still, and some were declining. And the number one question they wanted answered was, what do the growing churches have in common? In the study were found 8 factors that all of the growing churches had in common. These were empowering leadership, gift-based ministry, passionate spirituality, effective structures, inspiring worship service, holistic small groups, need-oriented evangelism, and loving relationships. Every church has the nouns: leadership, ministry, spirituality, structures, etc. It is the adjectives that matter. How inspiring is the worship service? To what extent are the small groups holistic? Do the church's evangelism efforts touch on people's real needs? And how loving are the relationships in the church? These 8 factors are called the quality characteristics. Natural church development is a process of paying attention to the growth conditions or the quality characteristics in a church and improving church health so that God's growth can take place.
What is the church health team? We are a group of people who have answered a call to lead the congregation in making our church healthier so God can give the growth.
In the spring of last year, our administrative council decided to enter the process of natural church development. Then in July, we took a survey of 30 workers in the church, active members who represented the congregation. A church health team has been formed and has been meeting to study and to pray as we prepare to receive the survey results.
The church health team includes Ann Brock, Wayne Brown, Judy Clyburn, Laura Henry, Jim Henry, Lola Lowry, Charles Nelson, Ellen Nolan, Ida Price, Puddin Watkins, Carolyn Whitty, and me, Bobby Whitty.
The work of the church health team is to guide our church through the 5 steps of natural church development. First, to prepare.
Decide to enter the process, pray for guidance, and form a church health team.
The prepare step is all done. The second step is to diagnose.
Take the survey.
That has been done also.
Analyze the results.
This is where we are now.
And identify 3 to 5 issues to be addressed.
Third, to plan.
Think of ways to address the issues.
Fourth, to implement.
Put the plan to action and stay focused on it.
And fifth, to evaluate.
Pay attention to the results and plan the next survey.
The church health team will continue to serve as we go through the process.
What did the survey tell us? Our results: in 7 of the 8 areas, we fell into the average range. This is good news. 2 areas were particularly high: loving relationships and holistic small groups. In other words, we're doing well at developing spiritually oriented community, integrating newcomers, affirming and encouraging one another, and building an atmosphere of joy and acceptance. Many people already know that our church is good at loving relationships. Our coach, Tom Smith from the district office, tells us that the churches who scored low on loving relationships cannot do anything until they address this reality. We're very blessed to be strong in loving relationships. The one area where our score is low is effective structures. Now, effective structures has nothing to do with the physical plant of the building and nothing to do with the programs of the church. A church with effective structures is like a healthy body with numerous systems working together to make the whole body function and fulfill its intended purpose. Effective structures has to do with how we do the work of the church. The survey results tell us that we could improve our church health by paying attention to planning effectively, improving organizational structures and systems, innovation and managing change, and providing structures for effective leadership. The results show that effective structures is our church's minimum factor. Imagine our church is a barrel made out of staves, and there's 8 staves. Each stave represents one of the characteristics, and the shortest stave limits the amount of water that could be held in a barrel. So there's no reason we should try to improve the long staves. The short staves is what we need to work on, and effective structures is our minimum factor. It's our shortest stave. Another good word from our coach, Tom Smith, effective structures is the factor that's the easiest to improve if we have the will to do it.
What are our next steps? Well, we need to diagnose and plan and implement. What I mean by diagnose is that we need to identify 3 to 5 issues that we need to address as a church. And then we need to make a plan as to how we're going to address those issues. And then we need to implement our plan. We need to put our plan into action. Over the next few months, our church is going to be considering some questions like, for instance, how do the various ministries and the programs and the systems within our church connect with each other so that we can work together and achieve our church's goals? And we need to consider things about what have the changes that have happened recently in the last few years in our church and in the community around our church. How have they affected us? And how have they affected our ability to meet our church's goals? And then we need to think about the leadership of our church. Do they set aside the time that they need to get together and talk about the church's goals and how we're going to do some strategic planning to meet those goals? And then we need to ask questions about the training available to our church workers. Do we give adequate training? Are people equipped to do the jobs that they're asked to do? The church health team is going to be doing some things in the month of January that will involve the whole congregation. We want to get the church's input into a lot of these areas that we've talked about. And the goal of doing this, the purpose for doing this, is to identify the 3 to 5 issues that we need to address in this coming up year. Please pray for our church and for this whole natural church development process and for the work of our church health team. Pray that God will guide us to improved church health and to church growth.